Guitar termite.
Hello guys, and welcome back to this restoration and relicing of the Squire Stratocaster. So today we're gonna relic the hardware of this guitar, and to do that we need this thing, ácido muriático. It is muriatic acid. I live in Costa Rica, so I only get the Spanish kind, and this is very dangerous and very strong stuff. And what you need to do with this is you put a very shallow layer of muriatic acid, and then you put the hardware on a tray inside, let it sit for half an hour, and then come back and wipe it off. See how the relicing goes, because it's way too shiny. It has some scratches and stuff like that because this is a used guitar, so it's only gonna get better from that. But yeah, it's way too shiny. So this is the first time I'm gonna do this, and you need a mask and gloves because this stuff is really strong. I'm gonna do the tuners separately. I'm gonna do them separately because they are very sensitive, and the muriatic acid corrodes the metal. It corrodes it, so maybe the tuners are gonna be harder to turn after that. So I'm gonna leave it for a less while, or maybe even paint it on with a little brush. But I don't think that's a good idea, so I'm gonna leave it for lesser periods and lubricate it along the way, and I think we'll be fine. So for this part, I want the shiny part to be relic, but I don't want the screw part to be relic because I don't want that to be corroded to be hard to screw in later. So I'm gonna tape that part up with this masking tape. And also I'm gonna remove the saddles from the bridge because also very sensitive parts, they have a spring and everything. I'm gonna put them in this aluminum foil for them to be safe because these are very little parts and they're gonna get lost if I don't put them away. So without further ado, I'm gonna tape this, remove this, and start the muriatic acid process. I recommend you do this in a very well ventilated area because this stuff is really strong. Also, you're gonna put the top of the Tupperware on and it's gonna be fine. So here we go. Alright everyone, now we're ready to do the muriatic acid part, and to do that I've already separated the elements. Like I have the bridge plate which I'm gonna lay like so, and also this guy like so, so there's air flowing everywhere, and I'm gonna leave the rest inside the tray. So let's look at what we have. We have screws for the strap buttons. We have the bridge plate. We have the neck plate and the bridge plate, and also the jack cap and the bridge nuts. We've taped off the screw part of the bridge nut because we don't want that to get affected. So we'll just pour the muriatic acid in about yay high, then lay the stuff inside on these cups. I've cut these plastic cups this way so I can put them this way and then lay the stuff inside like so, and there'll be like a lot of flow of the acid. So let's get started. First off, we put on the mask. So we'll let this sit for 20 minutes or 30 and then come back and look how how it's looking. Open it up, take it out, rinse it off, check how it's going, and then put it back in. Alright, so it's been 30 minutes, let's see how it is. Alright, so not much has been happening there. So I think I'm just gonna leave it for longer. Let's see how it goes on this, guys. Not very relic yet, so maybe this stuff is not as strong as the one in the US or Canada. So let's just leave it on for longer. Okay guys, so I was successful with the muriatic acid. There was just a problem with the times. My thinking is that I have that in Costa Rica where I live, the muriatic acid is much more diluted. I checked in the bottle and it said that it's just 10% muriatic acid in the water. It's 90% water and 10% acid. So it just took a long time. I just left it like 2 days in there. And finally I was able to get a beautiful patina. Check that out. It dulled it out. And you can see back here, I taped it. Because also, I figured out that there is a method in which you get better results. And that is suspending the elements. Not putting them in a tray, because if you put them in the tray, the fumes from the muriatic acid cannot reach down into the tray. That's just my experience. Maybe stronger muriatic acid does it just as well. But my thinking was, and I will show you a picture right now of how I suspended these elements. I just taped them and placed them and taped them to the lid of the container containing the muriatic acid, taped it to the lid, and that way when the gas evaporates, it just reaches and touches the metal with much more efficiency. And I was able to get beautiful results like that. Look at that. It looks completely real. It just looks authentic. It looks just like it's been aged naturally. So I'm very happy with the results with the muriatic acid. I was in this one, this was the test piece that I did the most. In this one I even sanded it down with like 2000 grit sandpaper to see if that made the muriatic acid penetrate the chrome better. Because I also learned that muriatic acid works best on nickel. Nickel plated elements like the parts you get from good guitars. Like good guitars come with a nickel plating, not chrome plating. And this is also pot metal from China. We're working on a Squire. So it's pot metal and it's been chromed heavily. And the chrome is much stronger than the nickel against the muriatic acid. So this just had to take a long time. The tuners which I have here have not corroded yet, and it's been like a day and a half. And they're just sitting there, and I'm just gonna leave them there until I get some patina on them. I got some muriatic acid directly on the tuners, like some of it splashed on there, and it made some cool spots just like this one right here. See, that right there is where the muriatic acid touched it, and it just looks like an accidental pretty accident, you know. It's like really good. So guys, this concludes part number 2 of our video. I'm sorry I had to change locations, but downstairs there's some people working on stuff, so I had to come up here to finish the video. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.
Guitar Termite.